All right. Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. So today we tried to get a little bit of the notice out there. We said on the Friday call, but what we're going to start to do on the last Monday of every month, which is today, we're going to do just a live Q&A. So I did get some questions emailed into me. We have some that are pretty consistent questions, repetitive questions that we're going to answer. And this is also a time for you guys to write in your questions, and then we'll try to get as much of them answered as we can. And if you notice on our regular Monday Zooms, if it's a question that's written in that doesn't pertain to the topic, we just pass it over, okay? Because we're really focusing on the topic at hand. So today is a chance to get all those kind of random product questions. Now, mind you, these are health and product related. This is not about the business side of it.
Yeah, I think we'll figure out best practice for these Q&As, whether, however we set it up so that it is a better flow. I figured today might be a little choppy.
Sure.
But hey, let's figure it out together.
Yep, but it's a great place to get your questions answered quickly. Okay, so one of them that I'm going to address first, because this is a very hot topic, but it's about natural flavors. And I get this question often about what are our natural flavors? And I do send, a list of what they are. But I also want you to understand, and you might want to touch on this a little bit more about how flavor houses do not disclose their formulas.
Oh, it's frustrating.
But it's very, it's not private in a negative way, but they work very hard.
That's correct.
These natural flavors are formulated by, their flavorists, so they're chemists and artists, and they really work hard to make these flavors to actually match the flavor that's at hand. So maybe that sounds a little bit synthetic, but I want to explain to you what a natural flavor actually is by definition. So natural flavors are anything that comes from a spice, fruit juice, vegetable juice, edible yeast, herbs, bark, bud, root, leaf, meat, poultry, seafood, egg, dairy, or anything fermented from any of the above. Okay, so all of that is natural. Those are all things natural to earth that we consume and edible that we can consume. It's not practical for say you wanted to flavor something with like the example of the passion fruit. We wanted to make our new E3 that we're going to make. Say we wanted to make a passion fruit. To be able to really use the whole fruit itself, you would have to use a quarter of the world's passion fruit to just flavor, a batch. It's not practical, it's not realistic, and it's not eco-friendly as well, or cost-friendly. But that doesn't mean, so what these flavors do is they obviously take the flavor that they want and they use ingredients, and like I just read to you, which are the natural flavors, and they make a flavor that is basically exactly like as in this example, passion fruit. Now, if it raises a flag here when I said seafood, dairy, egg, all that, but mind you, we do let you know if when our products are, because right now they all are dairy free, they all are gluten free, they're all egg free, they're common allergen free.
Right.
And everything is also vegan besides our factor 4 because of the fish oil. And the gelatin capsule and the vitamin D. So those sources are not used in that. We always that stuff is disclosed. I don't know. Anything else you want to add on to?
But here's the thing, though. As you name those, I think anybody out there, you're right to be skeptical because there's a ton of latitude. So what ultimately you need to ask yourself is, who's the brand? What are they sourcing? Because at the end of the day, it's the formulator that gets the final say on what natural flavor is included in that product. So that would be me. And trust me, I'm a skeptic. And when I hear natural flavors, I want to know what is the natural flavor? Where was it made by? Which flavor house? How? But she's right, proprietary to the flavor house because they're protecting their proprietary information. And so there's a lot of struggle there, a lot of balancing, and from our perspective, I've disqualified a lot of flavors from our products, a lot, and it happens quite often. And so I think that's ultimately at the end of the day, we all want to have the healthiest, cleanest line and product, but I think that's what I'm trying to say is that it's important that the formulator has that final say and knows which natural
Right,
flavor is being used.
So again, know your source.
Yeah,
And
there
I
you
mean,
go.
I think you guys should feel very confident in, what we're doing here. Also, just when you hear artificial flavors, that's when you kind of need to like raise those red flags, because yes, that can be any of the natural flavors, but that can also be like petroleums, chemicals, inedible substances. So you do want to avoid your artificial flavors 100%. Okay, I think that covers that. And then another big one that we always get is, why do our super reds and super greens say gluten-free, but also on the little sidebar it says contains wheat? So we have to say this, but this is due to the wheatgrass. And the reason wheatgrass is gluten-free involves the harvesting method. I cannot have wheat. I'm not celiac, but I cannot have wheat or gluten. They aggravate my gut tremendously. This is nothing in our super reds and super greens that is actually a wheat. I mean, okay, wheatgrass is a wheat product, but not a gluten contributor, right? Correct. So, and everything is tested.
Yeah, exactly.
All of our products
Finished
are
product is
tested.
tested for sure.
Right.
For
So, I wish that wasn't the case, that we had to have that on the bottle. That's what we've been told by our manufacturer. Like we,
Our
legally,
partners said, yeah, there's legal disclosure requirements.
based on their certifications from the facility and everything. Because I get so many questions on it, and I don't want it to be a deterrent that someone sees that it contains wheat and they think I can't have this. We're kind of still investigating a little more to see if maybe we can get it off the label, so it's not such a confusing little barrier here. But I do assure you, our products, all of them, are gluten-free, and we will remain that way, because we know how gluten can really aggravate many people's guts, which causes a whole another slew of things. Okay, a couple quick ones that I'm just going to run through. Children, pregnancy, and nursing. So with children, right now, currently, our products are dosed for adults 18 and older. Now, with that said, you can always discuss with your pediatrician on what's right for your child. Maybe a vitamin D 2,000 units is what your child needs, but that's really based on blood work and from what your doctor knows. But typically, it's they don't need as high of a dose, as well as our super green, super red protein powder. Like, that's whole foods ingredients. We personally are comfortable giving that to our children, but again, that's also discussing with your pediatrician and for what's best for your child. When it comes to pregnancy and nursing, always discuss with your OBGYN before starting any supplementation. I could say, sure, if I was pregnant or nursing, I would take our supplements, but I would also discuss it, make sure with my OBGYN that, everything was clear, because they know what's going on with your body and your baby's body best. So those are little disclosures. Mixing of powders. Right now, all of our powders can be mixed together. I get so many questions on, can the collagen go with the super reds? Can the super greens go with the aminos? You really, if you wanted to, you could put them all together in one. I like splitting them up for, various reasons. You like to split yours up, but it does not affect the dosing. So you kind of really have to figure out what works for you, what works for your schedule, what works for your taste, your taste buds, your palate. So, pretty much that's it on that. Times of taking your supplements. We do have that on the website. I'm not going to go through with each one because it's there for you. If you click on the Learn More section next to each supplement and scroll down a little bit more, you'll see a how to use. And Ryan always puts a pro tip in there as well to help you know when to take your supplements. And I want you to elaborate on this next one. Two of them, actually. So the next one is, once we launched our collagen, and I got so many questions about, why is there sugar cane in the collagen? I'm a diabetic, or I'm on keto, I can't have sugar, blah, blah, blah. There is no sugar. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, no, it's not a polysaccharide. It's not a saccharide. It's not a sugar. I think we're talking about polynol. Polynol is the sugarcane extract. It's not a sugar contributor. It is more a bioactive rich polyphenol / bioflavonoid contributor. So those are your antioxidants and the bioactive components of it. We've talked about it in the collagen Zoom, so take a look at that. But we can assure you, we're not fans of added sugar. If you listen to anything we talk about, we are very much against added sugars. With one exception, it looks like we are formulating an organic, USDA certified organic gummy that we need to finalize, but it looks like there might be a small sugar component to that as well. But
right.
Anyway, when we can, we certainly will avoid it. And this is no exception. There is no sugar in the collagen.
Right. Okay, perfect. And then somebody emailed me this morning about calcium and D3, and I get a lot of the questions on, why don't we have calcium? mixed in with our supplements. So can you elaborate on that?
Okay. So most people think of calcium as bone, has to do with bone building and bone strength. Most, there's different types of calcium. So think of calcium along with vitamin D and magnesium is really part of the osteoblast like activity thing. So it really helps with bone metabolism. So bone building and bone breaking down, because we're constantly doing both of those. I do not like the idea of including calcium in a multivitamin in the same way that I did not want magnesium in a multivitamin or vitamin D. They offer different specific reasons, but ultimately, if you're taking calcium, you should know what calcium salt you're taking, because they have different benefits for different disease states or people. You should have control over your dosing, and you should have control over your timing. And calcium can interact and it can bind. It's another reason why they say not to take calcium with, say, high iron-rich meal, because calcium can chelate, can bind, it can compete for absorption sites along with zinc, iron, magnesium. So that's why. I mean, and that's another reason why I tell people, I say separate your magnesium too. Don't take your magnesium with your multi. So I tell people, say, have your multi with first food in the morning, have your magnesium at lunch and again before dinner. But ultimately, we don't want to have a bunch of vitamins, minerals, things that can bind, chelate, compete for absorption in the gut, and ultimately we don't get enough of it. And so I think calcium is that perfect example. And we get calcium in foods, of course, but again, that person that has been told they need calcium in their diet, with their osteopenic, osteoporotic, they should know exactly what that dosing is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it doesn't mean we're not going to have a calcium supplement.
Supplement,
yeah,
right?
we just don't have it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I hope that was clear. I felt.
Yeah, I mean, the question was vague, so
Sure.
that's what I determined it was. Okay. Again, what can you take together and when?
I think
check
it's more
out
about what you cannot and should not take
right,
together.
right. But check out the how to use section and pro tips next to each supplement under the learn more, because we do tell you everything. There's caffeine. Is there caffeine in any product besides the coffee? Currently, there is caffeine in the patches, the focus, the energy and focus patch, and it will also be in the new E3 when we actually have it formulated. We're just working on manufacturing it.
Beverly says best product for arthritis, probably factor 4. I mean, because it's the best, say, for inflammation and arthritis, the pain and a lot has to do with the inflammatory process.
Can you pre-mix? This says for super reds and super greens specifically, but I'm just going to say, question: can you pre-mix the powders before you go to work and then drink them at work? Yes, but remember there are no thank you. There are no preservatives in them, so just with your drinking it within a handful of hours of mixing, yes.
Good answer.
Okay.
Who, from Dwayne? The base program? I honestly, so Dwayne said, is there anything you would recommend for individuals over 65 on a fixed budget? The Daily Essentials pack. I mean, I think it's less than $1 a day. You get a multi, you get the vitamin D, and you get the magnesium.
And factor 4.
And factor 4 is going to cost a little more, but sure. That, my friend, is your base program, the Daily Essentials pack.
How can you hear these in different languages? I would just assume it's something that you might.
I think it might be a Zoom thing. I'm like Nodder, or a low tech guy in a high tech world. I'm still trying to figure this out, but I'm open to suggestions for language conversion and.
Sure, if anybody has any.
Yeah.
Yes, caffeine and energy patches. All ingredients are listed on the label. The labels are also on the website under the Learn More section. You'll see there's 3 different pictures. One of them is the label. You will see all the ingredients.
So an anonymous attendee says, I have a friend who says he's careful about magnesium because of kidney issues or the other allergy products he might need to avoid. Not knowing the specific condition, but if you're concerned, what is it? What are the kidney issues? Well, for instance, like vitamin D, once it's absorbed, it goes to the liver, then it goes to the kidney for activation into a hormone. So the kidney, of course, we know is involved in so many of our cleansing and filtering out of the impurities and getting ready to void it in the form of urine. So yes, if you have kidney issues, you should know of what supplements could become a problem. In my mind, though, there's nothing in, especially magnesium, there's nothing in the LiveGood lineup that is necessarily bad or hard on the kidney, but your nephrologist would be able to advise best on that. So post heart attack, here's a question about post heart attack and aspirin and blood clotting. We get a lot of this on blood clotting. The traditional, most widely used blood clotting or anti-clotting blood thinner, it was warfarin. And that had to work on the vitamin K pathway. So most people have it in their brain that anything to do with vitamin K will affect my blood clotting. So they ask about they ask about our super reds a lot. They ask about factor 4, which if you look at the literature, like fish oil, things that dilate the blood vessels. I mean, really fish oil though, as far as thinning the blood, the cardiologists use fish oil regularly. And especially with the new anticoagulants, I don't see any issue with it. But again, you have to refer to that cardiologist. They're the ones in charge of your care. But nothing that I know of post-heart attack in this, other than like caffeine stimulants and things that are more problematic, I really don't know.
Okay, back to the natural flavoring. Why does it need natural flavoring? Can it not taste good on its own?
I like that question, Nina. I'm always in favor of leaving flavors out, just because look at our collagen, right? Unflavored. People flavor collagen all the time. I think unflavored is awesome when it's possible. The newest product coming out, creatine, unflavored. What else do we have?
Right, but I think there's certain ingredients like in the super red and super greens,
Totally.
the real earthiness.
Yep.
I mean, I could drink it because I'll drink anything that's like, if you tell me it's healthy, I don't care what it tastes like. It could, I'm gonna just drink it. I'll plug my nose and drink it. So that's me personally, but unfortunately, that's not a lot of people. I actually tried this protein powder that a friend had showed me, and there's absolutely zero flavoring. And I drank it, and I was like, okay, yep, this is really not something like I'm going to sit. Like, I love my protein shakes, with our protein powder. I actually really enjoy them.
Yeah. I
didn't enjoy drinking that, and I use this as like my meal. So that's kind of hard. So
good example.
Yeah, I get it. But for the masses, like, people are not just going to plug their nose and drink nutrition.
You know what it's like when plaque psoriasis makes you hide your skin under sleeves. To have a turtleneck choking you in 92 degrees. You know what it's like to go through treatments.
All right, so we have a question from a physician talking about science behind our products. That's a world that I've come from as well, evidence-based, always looking at the scientific literature. I mean, the gold standard is a prospective, double-blind, placebo-controlled study. I mean, great, love it. And you see it all the time in pharmaceuticals because you have to have it for FDA regulated products. Dietary supplements are not FDA approved. So
this goes to the second question.
Okay. So they're regulated by the FDA, but they're regulated under the DSHEA Act. I think it's of 94. That's Dietary Supplement Health Education Act. That is food under the food category. So you do not have to do this. The way we operate we like to merge the two worlds. And so I'll use the evidence that has been studied and supports the use of ingredients. But at the end of the day, on finished product, there's nothing. There's very few things out there. There's combination things, like the most recent one that I saw on a heart study showed benefit with vitamin D as well as omega-3 fatty acids in heart rate rhythm disorders. So mostly looking at atrial fibrillation. So showed a lot of benefit. And so that's the type of stuff I extract out. And there's tons and tons of literature on some of these ingredients. Obviously, a lot of these ingredients are also used in pharmaceutical dosage or pharmaceutical preparations as well. So there's plenty of literature, National Institutes of Health, PubMed. I mean, I spend a lot of time reading studies. I subscribe to a service that sends me studies and I see them. So I'm always looking. If you have something more specific, though, that you're looking for, and the next question says something FDA approved. Yeah, so if you're looking for something specific, I mean, the literature is mostly out there, almost all of it. There's very few products. I don't think we have anything here that doesn't at least have some clinical evidence to support the use. So
right, and there's a few patented ingredients that we use. I think there's 3 of them in our collagen. There's one in the protein powder. There's in the coffee. In the multivitamin. Yeah. So then we use those that obviously have the studies behind it.
And that's another thing. Actually, that's a good point to bring that up. So some of these ingredients, like they call it Polynol, they call it Velocitol or Preflex. They're just naming ingredients that have been used widely, and what they're doing is they're putting a name, a patent on it, and then they're studying it and they're trying to show clinical benefit. But they're also, more importantly, defining the standard operating procedure of how they acquire, extract, acquire, test, bring that product into their possession so that they know there's a lot of consistency there. Because guys, in this world of dietary supplements, sourcing can be so inconsistent. That's where the problems really begin, actually, for a lot of manufacturers and a lot of brands that sell dietary supplements.
Yes. Carolyn, you may be new to LiveGood, so not have heard of Factor 4, which has been in and out of stock and
Right.
is getting picked up or delivered, I think.
No, it's here.
Oh, it's here. Okay, great. So it should be either live on our website today or tomorrow, but that's our omegas. Yes.
Yeah, Factor 4 is omega-3 fatty acids, concentrated ethyl esters. You'll get about 1,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA in, or about 1,200, sorry, in 2 soft gels.
L-mean. I assume this is, what does L mean before the ingredients? I assume you're talking about amino acids. That's the name of the amino acids.
Yeah.
I mean, L-citrulline, L-glutamine, L-arginine.
If that's what you're asking.
I don't know what
It's
else.
isomer. I mean, it just has to do with their molecular structure.
Yeah, I don't know what else has an L.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's an anonymous that says something about vitamin D being rat poison. I've gotten this question before, and so it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter if cholecalciferol has been used in other applications. I mean, that's okay. That's fine. We've said this before. Vitamin D is one of 4 main fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K. And in high doses, it can be toxic, of course, because it deposits in the tissue. It doesn't eliminate similar to the way water-soluble, like a B vitamin, water-soluble vitamin might. So yes, anytime you're taking something that's lipid-soluble or fat-soluble, be careful because you can overdose. That is a fact. That's why we went with 2,000 units on our vitamin D. It's probably what I consider the sweet spot. We'll just keep going. I know there's a lot of questions.
But that answers a question too that I also get often. Why only 2,000 units of our vitamin D? I have someone saying it doesn't do anything unless you're taking 10,000 units. This is very specific to you and what your blood says, what your body actually requires.
Yep.
So you've got to be careful with that, and that's why we chose 2,000 units.
Yeah, but as far as it being used as rat poison, so what? Like, it's irrelevant to why it's being used here. And by the way, D3 is superior to D2 as far as bioavailability. And, it's the most natural form anyway. So
this is just asking to compare to Balance of Nature.
we're not doing that here.
Yeah, I mean, you can email me. I get this question a lot for Balance of Nature. So just go ahead and email me. Yes, post on social media. You can take the energy patch and drink coffee. Just know that the energy patch also has caffeine. So just be aware of that. So sometimes somebody had asked me that. I drink 2 cups of coffee. Can I use the energy patch? I'm like, well, maybe drink 1 cup of coffee and use the energy patch. Or drink the coffee first thing in the morning, put the energy patch on a few hours later.
Maybe it has to do with the way you metabolize caffeine too. I happen to be a slow, rapid metabolizer, so it'll last for hours. I could not do both.
We got that about arthritis. Do we something?
Hey, Mike, asking about glyconutrient. What do you know about us? How do you know that? You have inside information here. We originally launched LiveGood and we had a glyconutrients branded product. And for reasons I can't speak about, some of those ingredients we chose not to move forward with. But let me tell you, we are aware of the benefits of glyconutrients. That's an awesome question. Oh,
like our EMF bracelets.
Hey, Sarah, EMF protection bracelets. That's funny.
You never know. I mean, lots of possibilities of LiveGood. And I keep the sticker on my phone as well.
Hi, Claudia. Will there be a multivitamin for women or for without iron? Yes.
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 In the interim, we just say you use the men's.
You can use the men's, but I agree. And by the way, let me just throw this question out there. Are you ever willing to improve your existing products, if at all? Answer is yes. We're actually doing that right now. You'll see some changes. I call them improvements, but there are going to be changes as we develop new access to new ingredients and different things, and we evaluate ongoing. There will be some changes. Specifically, there's actually 3 products right now that are next run of changes. So we'll do a Zoom just on updates. Yep.
Consider making a coffee without caffeine, possibly a decaf coffee.
Yeah.
Don't really get many requests for that, but it's definitely I've thought about it.
Factor 4 from Wendy. Can you safely increase the dose if not feeling any effect? You're not necessarily going to feel it like you would, let's say, a caffeine jolt, right? But factor 4, of course, you're going to start at that 2 soft gels per day, which is about 1,200 milligrams of EPA and DHA. That's your sort of anti-inflammatory dose. You go to 3,000 milligrams to 4,000 milligrams. That's your lowering of the triglyceride that kind of alters some of your cholesterol panel, right? So yes, of course.
Max dose, you always say is 8 per day?
Yeah, but look, yeah, you can go up to 8 soft gels a day, which would roughly be that 4,800 milligrams. But that's what that, yeah,
Right.
There's no need to go any higher than
And
that.
personally, we both take 4 a
Yeah.
day. So 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Is it okay to mix up the vitamins in a blender with the reds and greens? So yes, meaning like our capsules, you can open up and put the powders in. The only thing you can't do that with is factor 4, but I've not experimented with this myself, but I have had customers put the factor 4 in a blender, in a smoothie. And they say sometimes you get a little bit of a chunkiness. And I've also had others, if you can't swallow the factor 4, that put it in warm water and just let the gelatin melt and drink it that way.
So do you think you'll develop products without natural flavors or sweeteners like stevia? Yes, but we just talked about sort of meeting in the middle on natural flavors and our justification for their use. Stevia is another one that we're working on. Absolutely. There's
right. But again, this also has to be palatable. Like, you want your products to be consumed. So by everyone. Yes. Are we entertaining a black cumin oil and fulvic acid, some detox? Yes. Fulvic acid, humic acid, like those are all going in my brain on working on something like that. Yes. When Factor 4 is back in stock, I'll post it on social media. That's going to be your notification. It'll be live on our website.
Thanks, Tricia, for the tip.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. For different language, Tricia says once Zooms are saved to YouTube, you can turn on CC and change to any language.
Okay. You asked about chronic disease and can you use more of the product than what is on the label on the package? The label isn't based on any specific chronic disease, so that's your discretion entirely.
And just discuss with your doctor how high can you go. A pre-workout supplement for athletes, yes. A higher caffeine, yes, it's coming. It's replacing the E3 that was currently for sale on our website. It wasn't a LiveGood product, but was for sale on our website. Any specific med questions, go ahead and email.
I love that one though, Gloria. Good day. Yeah, everyone, what can you recommend for type 3 diabetes? Oof. I know, man. Get control of your blood sugar. You got to do your best job controlling your blood sugar, reversing anything overweight, obesity, type 3 diabetes, meaning Alzheimer's, any neurodegenerative disease. I know, man, that is a big problem for society. I agree.
You have anchovies?
Yeah, anchovy.
So didn't see on the label what fish is used. It's cold water.
Cold water anchovy.
Cold water anchovy.
Yeah, and we like again have a choice in where the fish comes from, how it's sourced, and we paid more to have it done in an ethical fishery. So
there are vegan collagens out there. We do not have it.
Let me this one now. Hold on. All right, so this question has to do with sourcing. It's international sourcing. A lot of people are concerned about whether or not it's routing through China or not. Some do, and that's just the nature of the supply chain. Ultimately, again, the formulator and manufacturing partners have final say. And obviously, when it comes in, it's usually in a powder format, and it's all tested. All that powder is tested prior to ever even going into manufacturing. And then they verify every lot that comes in. And that's part of the CGMP standard. So I'm not concerned about our sourcing. And our manufacturing partners, of course, are all domestic.
Yes, the chocolate protein powder is
Chocolate's on the
more.
way. Yep, chocolate protein's on the way.
Shopify helps aspiring business owners, like Nona Lucia here, turn their passion into a product. Build your online store at shopify.com, add your products, and bring your brand to life in minutes.
I mean, can you believe it?
I can believe it. Once you're cooking, Shopify's management tools make it easy to ship, track sales, and run it all from a single place. Grow your business and find hungry customers with marketing tools that turn your social channels into a cha-ching machine, and send custom email campaigns so your brand stays hot and you stay connected. When you're ready to turn your passion into a product, power your business with Shopify.
Zapier's automation is the easiest way to keep your pipeline in motion. Connect over 5,000 apps, scale your workflows, and watch your lead and revenue charts go up and to the right. Automation isn't magic, it's Zapier. Get started for free.
Will you be making a non-vegan protein powder? Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just tell you guys now. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's next.
Yeah,
That's coming
the
next.
chocolate one.
We're gonna do the chocolate that way. Very particular about the sourcing on this for whey. Very particular. We're evaluating different things, and I think we're fine. We're close. We're making final decisions now.
And Julia, I don't know if you've tried our pea protein, a little different with the fermentation.
Yeah, the fermentation's different.
Takes away from all those like negative anti-nutrients of pea protein.
Yep.
So if you haven't tried it, give it a shot.
We've had people tell us that every pea protein's been a problem except this one.
Right. And I have a sensitive gut. I do. So I'm always cautious about everything that I'm doing to it. So give it a shot.
Tracy, about how do you get familiar with our product line? Well, these videos are a great start. You can check out the old Monday Zooms that we've done on different particular products. Check out our website, look at the label, educate yourself on the label, email us questions, and yeah, just watch more videos, tune in.
Right. So on our YouTube channel, like we have already covered each product. So you can always watch those so you can learn about what we currently have. And then once we launch a new product, we do a launch Zoom and product training.
We're running kind of late. Brittany, yes, we're going to do other protein flavors. The next is the chocolate whey, and then we're going to continue to evolve from there. We'll add and do some different things. Did we just go live?
No, that was.
Okay.
All past recordings are all on our YouTube channel, and you can actually get to our YouTube channel straight, because I know if you Google, or I mean, if you put in there for the search bar on YouTube, LiveGood, you're going to get a ton of stuff. On the bottom left of our website, you'll see the little icons for social media, and one of them is the YouTube. Click on it, takes you to our YouTube channel, and then you'll find all the Zooms.
Hey, Cheryl, the children's vitamins will be available soon. I told you this, what we're dosing is different between a toddler and an adolescent, so we're trying to figure out exactly how that works, and we're honestly being very, very selective about our ingredients, going whole food based on it, so we're testing those now. Beverly asked if we have glutathione. I love glutathione, but not orally. We don't have anything with glutathione in it. Yeah, Ernie asked about amino acid dosing. Amino acid dosing does matter. Starting at about 3 grams of essential amino acids, you want 40% of that to be leucine. That's the formula, and then we can get into the particulars of every other one, but that's the formula for muscle protein synthesis. I've gone on and on. There's 2 Zooms on amino acids. If you watch our second Zoom, I really get into part 2 of amino acids. I get into a lot of that dosing of amino acids.
Difficulty sleeping. Somebody saying that patches hasn't helped their friend, I believe. Other
like
products.
Significant sleep disturbance.
Right. This is kind of needing to find the root cause of why this person is not sleeping.
Yeah.
Because the sleep patches are just to kind of like give us that little boost, help us fall asleep. It's not to to fix a sleep.
Nor would I think it's every night, either.
Right, a sleep problem. I mean, I don't know if they're taking the magnesium, could be the magnesium, could be needing CBD oil if you live in the US, but really finding out the root cause. CoQ10, Ginny, is in factor 4.
Yeah, ubiquinol. Winifred, we have in our multivitamin lutein and zeaxanthin. Both of those were part of the ARID study to support vision. Marigold extract.
Carol, 10,000 units of D3. I mean, has your doctor told you that you should have your blood level checked?
All right. So Carol says, is 10,000 units of D3, is that a dangerous amount? Yes, probably. Before you go into 10,000 units a day, you should definitely know your blood levels. Like for me, I'm at the 2,000 units a day that we put in the LiveGood per soft gel, per capsule, I'm sorry, should target about 30 to 50 nanograms per ml. I'm right at 50 right now, but some days I take 2 capsules, I'll take 4,000. I'm right at 50 nanograms per ml. It's perfect for me. You can go a little higher, but vitamin D would kick you higher. And again, remember, it can be toxic in high amounts. Know your numbers. It's a cheap and very affordable drug blood test.
I mean, example, there was a time that I needed to be on 10,000 units.
Yeah.
I was on that, then I had to back off to every other day, and now I'm 2,000 units once a day. So
I know, Nina, I'm like you with caffeine. It's great.
yes, powders can all be mixed. Fish oils in factor 4. Yes, all powders can be mixed. My email, lisa@livegood.com. You should get random emails from me as well, notifications and stuff. You can reply to that. That's straight from my email. Products are dosed for 18 and older.
Dwayne, when it comes to iron deficiency and a C deficiency, look, you obviously want to have iron taken in an acidic environment. It has to be reduced first. So that may be what you're asking. For people that take iron, you should be taking it along with food or something to increase the acidity of the stomach.
Ketone products added to possibly.
Keto.
I'm assuming you're thinking like ketones, maybe.
Hey Dave, about so you're asking if the CBD oil contains THC or can fail a drug test? Yes, it can. It's legally allowed to contain up to 0.3% THC. Ours, though, the final testing has never shown anything close to that. But I have to caution you, it's a full spectrum, so it potentially could.
We do use monk fruit as a sweetener in some of ours supplements. Nothing has erythritol in it and won't.
And xylitol.
We don't have any of that xylitol in there, although it is good for your teeth.
Oh, okay. This person asked about fish oil working right away, or does it take a while? Of course, it takes some time. The omega-3 fatty acids are similar concept of eating fish more regularly, trying to get your higher blood levels of omega-3 fatty acids to calm down the inflammation as well as to regulate high fat in the blood. So yes, give it time and monitor it through blood. It's not necessarily something that's going to make you feel all different and energized.
Coffee is fine for high blood pressure as long as you've never been told to avoid caffeine.
Well, as long as your blood pressure is controlled.
Right. Because the caffeine can.
Yeah, if your blood pressure is not controlled, it could spike your blood pressure numbers and dangerously high.
Jenny, CoQ10 again is in factor 4. Yes, lots of requests for digestive enzymes, so that's in my brain as well. Yeah, powders can go in warm water as well. I did. There's several people that use the super reds as a tea. The skin products, yes, temporary. They're not LiveGood products. They are from our CEO's previous company, so they're sold on our site while supplies last. But we are working on LiveGood skincare. All right, here we go.
I think we're good, guys. Yeah, we're 35 minutes past, so we're going to end it. I appreciate it so much. You guys had some awesome questions. I hope this was helpful. We'll iron out the format a little bit, but I mean, this is easy. It's super casual.
Yes, and if you did not get your question answered, again, go ahead and email them. But again, we're going to do this at the last Monday of every month, right?
Yeah.
All right.